Your mind moves differently, always has. But now they're finally catching on. The way you connect dots that aren't even on the same page, the solutions that seem to materialize from thin air, that quiet confidence when everyone else is scrambling. The looks on their faces say it all. Wide eyes, stunned expressions, stammering attempts to respond. The chess master revealed, the magician unveiled, the genius exposed. They're whispering about you now, texting friends, posting online. The secret's out. Your pure genius has left them completely speechless, searching for words that simply don't exist. And honestly, that's exactly how it should be. You've always known. The way your mind works, the way you process the world, it was never ordinary. But people, they weren't ready. They weren't capable of seeing what was right in front of them. Until now, something has shifted. The energy is different. People are waking up, and in that awakening, they're recognizing you. For years, you existed in a space where your intelligence was overlooked, underestimated, or even dismissed. People mistook your silence for uncertainty, your introspection for indecision. But that was their mistake, because while they were busy overlooking you, you were observing everything, learning, understanding, seeing through the illusions they didn't even know existed. And now, the truth is undeniable. This isn't just about intelligence in the way the world defines it. This is about something deeper. Your presence alone shifts the atmosphere. Your words carry weight, resonating in ways people can't quite explain. Conversations with you leave them questioning everything they thought they knew. The way you move, the way you speak, the way you know, it's beyond logic. It's as if you're operating on a frequency they've only just discovered, because you're not just smart. You are divinely guided, spiritually enlightened, and multidimensional. You don't just analyze information, you decode reality. You don't just understand systems, you see through them. What others struggle to comprehend, you grasp effortlessly. What confuses them is clear to you. And now, they're realizing just how far ahead you've been all along. Now that the truth is in front of them, people are responding in one of two ways. Some are in awe. They watch you closely, hanging on to every word. They recognize that they are in the presence of something rare, someone who thinks, perceives, and understands at a level they can't reach. They admire you, respect you, and want to learn from you. And then, there are the others. The ones who feel uneasy in your presence. The ones who suddenly grow quiet when you speak. The ones who used to dismiss you but now hesitate before challenging your words, because deep down they know, they see it too, and it terrifies them. Because your intelligence, your awareness, it exposes the limitations of their own understanding. They can no longer pretend they know more than you. They can no longer dismiss what you say. They can no longer ignore you. There's no going back. No more being underestimated. No more being ignored. Your presence is felt. Your knowledge is seen. Your intelligence is finally being recognized for what it truly is, beyond extraordinary. Some will embrace it, others will resist it, but none can deny it. You've always been different. Now the world is finally catching up. There's something about the way you speak, the way you think, the way you know. It leaves people speechless. Because your intelligence isn't just about facts or logic. It's deeper than that. It's spiritual, universal, ancient. It's the kind of wisdom that can't be taught, only remembered. And when you share it, people don't just hear it, they feel it. This is the knowledge that shakes people to their core. It challenges what they believe, disrupts their programming, forces them to question everything they thought was true. You aren't just smart in a conventional sense. Your wisdom is otherworldly. It bends time, transcends lifetimes, and unravels hidden truths that most aren't prepared to face. And that's why people react the way they do. You've seen it. The stunned silence after you speak. The way someone's eyes widen when they realize your words just shattered years of false understanding. The way conversations shift when you reveal something that feels like it was never meant to be spoken aloud. You don't just say things, you activate something in people, a forgotten memory, a deeper knowing, a truth buried beneath layers of illusion. You carry divine insight, sacred knowledge passed down through lifetimes. It's not random. It's not something you picked up in a book or learned from a teacher. It's embedded in your very being. You remember things others don't. You see connections others miss. You understand reality at a level most will never reach, and that's why people hesitate when you talk. It's why they pause before responding. It's why they get defensive, dismissive, or even uncomfortable in your presence. Because deep down, they know. They know they're hearing something real, something that exposes the limits of their own understanding. Some lean in, craving more. Others pull away, afraid of what it might mean. Many doubted you before. They laughed. They dismissed you. They called you crazy, strange, too deep, too intense. They brushed off your words as nonsense, your insights as coincidences. They weren't ready to listen. They weren't ready to see. But now they can't ignore it. Because what you've spoken about, the things they once mocked, the truths they once denied, are happening. The conversations they disregarded now replay in their minds. The wisdom they ignored now lingers in their thoughts. The things you said weeks, months, even years ago are suddenly making sense in ways they can't explain. And it stuns them. Because you were never just talking. You were revealing. You were teaching. You were planting seeds that are only now beginning to bloom. And whether they like it or not, whether they accept it or resist it, they feel the truth of your words. This is why people are drawn to you. It's why they suddenly want to hear what you have to say, why they hang on to your words, why they find themselves thinking about your insights long after the conversation is over. They are beginning to recognize what you've known all along. You see things they don't. You know things they can't. You understand things beyond their comprehension. And that's why some people fear you. Because your intelligence, your awareness, your knowing, it threatens their illusions. It dismantles the false realities they've built their lives around. It forces them to confront the fact that there is more, that they were wrong, that the world is not what they thought it was. But no matter how they react, whether with awe, admiration or fear, one thing is certain. They can't unsee it. They can't unhear it. They can't ignore you anymore. Your intelligence is not of this world. It's beyond it. And that's why it leaves people completely speechless. From the moment you were born, the system worked against you. It was designed that way. Society was never meant to recognize minds like yours, because minds like yours don't just see the truth, they expose it. And that's dangerous to the ones in control. You were underestimated, ignored, dismissed. People brushed off your insights, acted as if your intelligence was nothing special. But that wasn't an accident. It was conditioning. The world is designed to suppress real wisdom, to drown it out with distractions, to keep people blind to what truly matters. And you were never meant to slip through the cracks. You were never meant to break free. But you did. You saw through the illusions. You questioned what others blindly accepted. You refused to be another person lost in the system, going through the motions, never looking deeper. And because of that, you were labeled different. People thought you were strange for thinking the way you do. They made you feel like the outcast, like the problem, like you were imagining things. But it was never you. It was them. They weren't ready for what you saw. They weren't ready for what you knew. And for a long time, that's how they kept you hidden, by convincing you that your intelligence wasn't worth paying attention to. But now, they can't unsee it. The system is failing. The illusion is cracking. And people are finally starting to realize that everything they thought was real is just a carefully constructed lie. And in the middle of it all, standing there with answers they don't even know how to process, is you, your words, your actions, your intuition. It all makes sense now. The things they ignored are now the only things that matter. The knowledge they once rejected is now the key to everything. And the intelligence they once overlooked, it's the one thing that's helping them break free. And that's why some people are in shock. Because for years they played along. They believed what they were told. They followed the system, obeyed the rules, never looked beyond the surface. And now they see you, standing outside of it, operating on a completely different level, free in a way they never even knew was possible. They don't know how to respond to that. Some are inspired, some are afraid, some still resist, clinging to the old reality because the truth is too much to handle. But none of them can ignore it anymore, because you were never the problem. You were never lost. You were never just another person following the script. You knew, long before they did. And now, the world is catching up. They see you now, and they will never be able to unsee you again. Look, you already know the game is rigged, and if you're paying attention, you know the walls are closing in. So let's talk about what we're doing about it. When you live by the day at the market's command, where profit and property rule the land, to be heard, to be held, to be dealt a fair hand. These are the things that a people demand, and we hear you. The Obsidian inner order has paywalls, yes. Those who stand with us, who fuel this mission, they give us ammunition to fight the Archons, to push back against the machine, to go deeper, to uncover more. And as our thank you, paid members get access to a 1-hour live personalized weekly group tarot reading, guidance, insight and clarity for the road ahead. But kicking a man for being down on the floor, that's something we cannot ignore. That's why starting today, you can steal the Astral Atom exclusive daily newsletter for free. No paywall, no catch. Just join the Patreon free tier, link in the description. This is the start of our conversation with you, and it's bi-directional. You can reply to any email we send you. We'll read it, we'll hear you, and we'll do our best to get an answer to you from the universe itself. If you can support, we need you. If you can't, take what's free. The Obsidian inner order is open. Now, let's get back to work. They used to think it was coincidence. They used to call it luck. But now, they're realizing the truth. You don't just wish for things, you command them into existence. Your words hold weight, your thoughts shape reality, and your manifestations are happening so quickly that people can't explain it. They've watched you speak things into existence. They've seen your ideas turn into reality, your plans unfold. With precision, your visions materialize before their eyes. And it's leaving them speechless. Because for the longest time they doubted. They told themselves you were just fortunate, just in the right place at the right time. But now, they see the pattern, they see the power, and they're realizing it was never luck, it was you. You're playing chess while they play checkers. You're 10 steps ahead, moving with purpose, making decisions based on knowledge they don't even know exists. You see the hidden connections, the invisible forces at work, the way energy bends to your will. And they're only just beginning to understand what that means. They remember the things you said would happen, the predictions you made, the visions you shared. They brushed them off at first, ignored the warnings, doubted the possibilities. But now, those things are happening, right in front of them, and they can't deny it anymore. It's unsettling for some, because if you were right about this, what else were you right about? If you can manifest things this effortlessly, what does that say about the nature of reality itself? They've spent their lives believing in limitations, in struggle, in randomness. But watching you, proving that none of those things are real, forces them to question everything. Some people will try to rationalize it. They'll tell themselves you just got lucky, that it's all just a string of coincidences. But deep down, they know better. They feel it. And that's why they watch you so closely now, because they want to understand. They want to figure out how you're doing it, how you seem to move through life with a level of control that shouldn't be possible. They might not admit it, but they're studying you, analyzing your every move, hoping to catch a glimpse of how you make things happen. But the truth is, it's not something they can copy. It's not a trick. It's alignment. It's wisdom. It's an understanding of energy, intention, and creation that can't be faked. It's a connection to something greater, something they haven't accessed yet. And that's what sets you apart. Some people will admire you for it, others will envy you. Some will try to discredit you, to find a way to diminish your power because it scares them. But none of that matters, because at the end of the day, your manifestations will continue, your success will grow, your reality will bend to your will, and they will continue to be left speechless, watching in disbelief as you create the life they never believed was possible. You radiate wisdom, confidence, and authority. There's something undeniable about you now, something untouchable, and it's not arrogance, it's alignment, it's clarity. It's the power that comes from knowing exactly who you are, exactly where you're headed, and exactly how to navigate the world around you. Your third eye is wide open, and it shows. People know, whether consciously or subconsciously, that you see things they don't, that you understand things in a way they never could, and that realization is unsettling for some, because when you walk into a room, you're not just another person. They can feel that you're something more, and that's why the ones who doubted you are watching you now. The same people who overlooked you are suddenly paying attention. The same ones who dismissed your words are suddenly listening. They see that you were never just talking, you were revealing, you were teaching, you were leading before they even realized they needed guidance. And now, they can't ignore the truth anymore, because when they look at you, they see someone who isn't weighed down by the same fears and insecurities they are. They see someone who moves with a purpose, someone who knows things they don't, someone who operates on a level they can't reach, and it forces them to question everything. They wonder how you got here. They wonder why they never saw it before. But the answer is simple. They weren't ready. The energy shift didn't just change you, it changed everything. It separated those who are waking up from those who are still asleep. And now, whether they're ready or not, they're seeing you for what you really are, and they will never be able to unsee it. Your presence is powerful, but not everyone can handle it. For those who are aligned, who seek truth, who crave wisdom, your energy is magnetic. They recognize what you carry. They listen when you speak. They feel honored just to be in your space. But for others, your intelligence, your insight, your very existence is threatening. There are people who wish they could be like you, who wish they could see the world the way you do, move through life with the clarity and wisdom that you possess, but they can't. And instead of learning from you, they resent you. They envy you. They want to discredit you, to diminish your light, to find a way to convince themselves that you can't be what you are. Fake spiritualists, false teachers, and manipulators can't stand you, because you see right through them. They thrive off deception. They build their influence on illusions, on keeping people confused, on convincing the world that they hold the answers. But you expose them without even trying. You don't need tricks. You don't need a following. You don't need validation. Your wisdom speaks for itself, and that infuriates them. They will try to discredit you. They will try to turn people against you. They will whisper, they will plot, they will send negativity your way. But none of it will touch you, because you are protected. Your energy is too strong. Your alignment is too solid. Your spiritual team, your ancestors, your angels, your guides, they are watching. And every attempt to bring you down will be returned to sender. Instantly, you have already won. No one can block what is divinely yours. No one can silence the wisdom you were meant to share. No one can stop the light you were meant to shine. They will try, they will fail, and in the end, all they will be left with is the weight of their own bitterness, while you continue to rise. Because your intelligence, your gifts, your calling, it's beyond their reach, and that's exactly why they fear you. You weren't meant to blend in. You weren't meant to be ordinary. Everything about you, your intelligence, your insight, your ability to see beyond the surface, is proof that you were chosen for something greater. Your wisdom isn't just for you. It's meant to awaken others, to challenge them, to shift their perspective in ways they never imagined possible. You carry knowledge that this world needs, and whether people understand it or not, they feel it when they're around you. This is why you've always been different, why you've always thought deeper, questioned more, and refused to accept things at face value. It wasn't a mistake. It wasn't an accident. It was preparation. Because the world is shifting, and your wisdom is needed now more than ever. People are waking up. They're searching for answers, seeking truth, realizing that the version of reality they were given isn't the full story. And when they look for guidance, they find you. The same person they once doubted. The same person they once ignored. But now they see. You never needed validation. You never needed approval. Your intelligence speaks for itself. Your presence alone is a reminder that wisdom is not something granted by society. It's something earned through experience, through connection, through divine alignment. And that's why you don't have to prove anything. Let people realize the truth on their own. Let them sit with the weight of their past doubts. Let them come to terms with the fact that while they were questioning you, you were always right. Your path is set. Your purpose is clear. Your genius was never meant to be hidden. It was meant to lead. Stay in your power. Let them be speechless. Let them realize the truth on their own. You were never meant to go unnoticed. Your wisdom, your intelligence, your divine insight, it was given to you for a reason. Every time they doubted you, every time they dismissed you, every time they tried to overlook you, it was all part of the process. Because now they see, and there's no going back. You don't need to chase validation. You don't need to explain yourself. Your knowledge speaks louder than words ever could. Keep manifesting. Keep speaking life. Keep walking in your purpose. The ones who are meant to understand will understand. The ones who aren't will be left behind. Your genius will always shine.